We are not stopping anyone from entering or leaving. This is completely peaceful.
You're a liar!
As we approach the end of February, the Wet'suwet'en protesters still blockade train tracks. The protesters claim they are peaceful and are letting people by, but they have blockaded intersections, train tracks, politicians from getting to work, and even one of their own chiefs. These people have broken the law and also been quite hypocritical about it. Will Justin Trudeau do anything? Will he follow the rule of law?
Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Two-Shot Factor. Railway blockades in Canada. The blockade of the railways isn't only going to add to shortages in food and supplies, but also an increase in price. CN Railway said Tuesday it's laying off 450 workers after having to cancel more than 400 trains.
They took our job! They took our job!
This just in. Via Rail is laying off 1,000 employees.
You know, I often wonder how Trump would handle this back down in the States. He'd be like, these railway blockades, so disrespectful. Back in the old days, we would have kicked the crap out of them. Roll the footage, Fuso, yeah.
No! Get out! Get out! Come on! On your knees. Hands behind your head. I want to know where Mulder is.
A video went viral recently in Winnipeg about a lady who, because of her race, was targeted after people were frustrated to do with these protests.
While I was waiting there, people were getting visibly upset because of the change in route for the buses. They're upset at the inconvenience of it. Now that part didn't bother me. What bothered me, what was being said around me, and then to be verbally ganged up on by a group of people that...
Now, obviously, with the comments, we realize these people are in the wrong, but you have to realize this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for these protesters. They're shooting themselves in the foot. They're giving themselves a black eye. All 20-plus bands have given the okay and signed the contract for the pipeline. Yet these, who are these people again? The cousins of Wet'suwet'en? Can we take a look at some of the comments?
In fact, they do have consent.
Not exactly. There is much more to a First Nation than a band council, which only deals with reserved land.
They're not even a band. Their own receptionist admits they're a company.
Half these dingbats don't even know what they're protesting.
Damn, I was wondering why I didn't see those protesters on Jeopardy.
They are breaking the law. Arrest them all.
You people.
Manu spoke the truth. Most of these natives today are pure white.
When will these parasites realize you shouldn't bite the hand that feeds you?
We hear that real guys are going to raid these camps.
More globalist manipulations from the corrupt politicians and corporations of the world. It will get worse before it gets better.
Andrew Scheer said, standing between our country and prosperity is a small group of radical activists with little or no connection to First Nations communities. Blocking off the trains. What's going on there, Tony?
Oh, well, fucking the train, it's in the way. It's not good, so we're just blocking her off there, buddy.
Yeah, you're blocking off. You realize that food and propane is on those trains. You guys are essentially might cut yourself off too from various supplies trying to go through.
Well, we're just gonna hunt the deer, and we'll spark some fire in the woods there. Bring 240 and fucking man. We don't need their propane, but.
There was a lady that was being ridiculed in a bus in Winnipeg, made a video that went viral crying because she had nothing to do with you protesters because of her race, based on what you guys have done. People were ridiculing her. What do you have to say about that?
All I say is, good on her. She's gotta cry, but he's gotta cry sometimes, right? You gotta let her out. Let all the tears flow down the river. Oh yeah, the river flows, and her tears are the part of the nature that binds all of us together.
Okay. And it's true, their protest may become self-deflating, self-defeating, if the very trains they're blockading can't get them the food and propane they need. Chief Barry Belgrade from the Academy of the First Nations, Perry Belgrade from the Assembly of the First Nations, said there may be a way to withdraw the protests and bring down these blockades Maybe a peacekeepers can be made, but this has to come from within themselves. Grand Chief Serge Oaksey Simon, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, has suggested that the blockades could come down having served their purpose. For suggesting this, other members of the Cousins of Wet'suwet'en have padlocked him out of his band council office with suggestions for him to resign. So you might be asking, Two Shot, who are these Wet'suwet'en people that are against this pipeline? Or what's going on here? Well, you know what? A lot of these are just a bunch of privileged little brats that have nothing better to do because they don't have jobs and go out and protest and disrupt the lives of regular, hardworking Canadians like myself. In fact, Rebel News' Keen Baxter, hope I got the pronunciation right, went out and interviewed some of these protesters just to, double check and see what they're actually protesting, to make sure they know, of course, just to, okay, we'll just cut that out.
I'm going to try and quiz them and see if they actually know what is in the pipeline.
Do you know what's in the pipeline?
Yeah.
What is it?
Dead animals from the ground.
No, what product would be shipped through the pipeline?
Bitumen, I believe.
No, it's natural gas.
Okay.
Would you be able to tell me what is actually being transported to Kitimat?
Oil. I believe so.
What do you think is being transported to Kitimat?
Oil.
From where?
I'm not entirely sure, but I know it has to do something with the Albertan government, so.
Tell me what is in the pipeline.
It is crude oil.
Now, you may have heard about this. Have you seen this? Have heard about this? That many of the protesters are not only not true members of the Wet'suwet'en people, but that they're actually white. Can we run a clip?
The school has arranged for a lecture from a real live Native American.
Oh, neato, huh, fellas?
Hello, boys and girls. My name is David Running Horse Sawitsky, and I am 1/16th Cherokee Indian.
Does that mean we only have to pay 1/16th attention to you?
Now, a lot of the natives that have been protesting, the Wet'suwet'en people, appear to be white. What do you have to say about that? Are they really white people? What's going on there? Why are they?
Fucking appearances can be deceiving. Like when I wear the buffalo skin, and I'm shooting my bow and arrow, I look like a buffalo, but I'm really not a buffalo.
This could get out of hand. We don't want to have another Oka crisis from 1990. What do you have to say? Do you know anything about the Oka crisis from 1990?
Yeah, well, the Oka crisis was like the whales, the orca crisis, man. The whales are just like coming out of the water.
Are you out of your mind? The Oka crisis was on land. It was in Quebec. What are you talking about, Tony?
Yeah, it's close enough there to the water, man, and they're just splashing everybody.
All right.
Orcas.
I don't think you're even old enough to remember 19. How old are you, Tony?
Oh, fucking 40, 44, do 6 of 40.
Protesters from a group known as Extinction Rebellion were outside of Premier John Horgan's house, harassing his wife, and eventually I believe they were asked to leave. If we can get some highlights of that. Heidi Eisenhuth was quoted as saying, maybe John Horgan needs to be invaded in his home to see what it feels like to be invaded in your home. I'm pretty sure that's criminal, you moron. You know what? You don't see Japanese people coming over here and saying, you know what, maybe you need to feel what it's like to have an atomic bomb dropped on you. So there were several people that went up to Premier John Horgan's house. He's the Premier of BC. They were removed off the property by police. You're lucky you didn't face criminal harassment for that.
Oh, yeah, very lucky. But you know what? We were fucking, pretty lucky there, but...
The protest about the natural gas and the petroleum, you realize a lot of the things that the tires that you drive with and the shoes, use petroleum byproducts to make those.
Oh, we make them out of bear skin, too. It's not a big problem. It just takes a little longer, eh?
All right, well, there you have it. That was Tony. He's one of the protesters.
Justin Trudeau has the ability to stop the protesters, but he chooses to be patient. Justin Trudeau would rather be playing basketball in Senegal, a country where rape only became illegal 1 month ago. Justin Trudeau is a PC bitch.
Don't want to engage in this conversation right now.
There's a backlog at the Port of Vancouver with 40 or more ships still waiting to load or unload. Oh my god, this blockade is pissing me off. How's my rice supply? Now I'm looking at the rice. Okay, that's not that bad. We'll be okay for a little while. I mean, these people, at least many of them, are obviously unemployed, although some of the comments have suggested that they're sacrificing work for the good of their people and their cause. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I'd buy that for $1. You know, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They're giving themselves and other nations, First Nations tribes, a bad name. I don't know what to say. Just subscribe. We got other things to worry about, like coronavirus, these whining bitches.
Right? This is illegal. You guys talking about law? The mask you're wearing. Hey, what did I just say? Go backwards. Wait. No violence. Garbage and everything up here, you guys. Come on, have some respect for the country. Hey, come on over here. Hey, put that stuff down. Hey. This is going to happen in front of everybody.
He's removing garbage.
Did you get this?
He's removing
I'm
garbage.
getting arrested. Not listening to these guys.
He has moved items. He's removing garbage. My secret items are not garbage. My secret items are special.
Get it off the road.
Leave me alone.
Cousins? Really? Really? Who the hell are cousins of Wet'suwet'en?
44, do 6 to 40.
All right. Okay. This conversation's not racist.
Down the river.
Okay, that was good. That was probably the best one, man. Good thing he did that. Wait, say a bit more about that.